Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. Wanted to talk about the U.S. position paper put out by the Trump administration this past Friday, basically reaffirming what JD Vance threw up all over everyone at the Munich Security Conference back in February. If you'll recall, at that time, this is an annual conference, JD Vance blew in, and this is a month into the administration, and just upended everything, trashing the decades-old European-American alliance, embracing the far right. Germany had upcoming elections mere days away at that point, and JD Vance came in with his embracing free speech. Oh, you can't have political oppression of nationalistic voices, and they have this far right nationalist party in Germany, the AfD, and they were fairly resurgent during that election. And JD Vance was doing everything he could to build them up just before the election. You can't have that. This is not just like right versus left stuff. When you hear about the resurgence of the right, we're talking far right, nationalist, populist, bad stuff. You know, the way extreme left is bad. The way extreme right is bad. And that right is what JD Vance and Donald Trump are going for and have always gone for, back to when Trump first ran. It's what got him elected. And it does exist in the world. It's just straight up nationalism. But to the point where it's saying that other nations, other races, other ethnicities are literally inferior to whatever your own is in your country. And there's a lot of people in the United States that believe this and that elect Trump. And it's all over the world. And it's a big deal in Germany because of Nazi Germany. And they have laws against the far right parties, being able to. I'm not an expert in that, but Germany's way more paranoid about this stuff than we are. And it's what JD Vance was building up 10 months ago. And then Pete Hegseth rolled in right behind him and said, oh, by the way, NATO has to pick up more Ukraine security. And the story has not changed in 10 months. And nothing's changed in Ukraine. Nothing's changed with the Trump administration. So the White House published on Friday that basically they're once again saying they're throwing away decades worth of liberal democracy in Europe, and in the alignment of European liberal democracy and the United States liberal democracy. And who does this benefit? It only benefits Russia. It only benefits Vladimir Putin, just as it did in February. So once again, we are faced with, if there is ever any doubt as to why Trump is doing this, look at who it would benefit. It only benefits the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin personally, directly. So when's the last time the United States put out a foreign policy initiative that the Kremlin publicly applauded and said, yes, this is what we're talking about, to the point where there are people suspicious in the Kremlin who will never trust America, even with Trump at the helm, thinking, this is too good to be true. We're not sure about all this. This is too exactly what we want, even for Trump to put out. So we're not so sure we trust this. There are a few voices in the Kremlin saying that, but officially and publicly, the Kremlin is applauding United States foreign policy in Europe. And that is just a terrible, terrible development. But it's what Trump was elected on. Let's be honest. You can have your parents or your friends or whoever say, oh, we don't like that part of Trump, we like this part of Trump. But they all know the whole part of Trump. They all know he's a racist. They all know he's a white supremacist. They all know he hates all immigrants except for white immigrants. They all know he's 100% aligned with Vladimir Putin. They all know he is 100% unaligned with democracy in Europe and in Canada and in Mexico and in the United States, in our own Congress. Like, all of these people voting for Trump, saying, well, I don't like this, but I do like that. If you like any of that, but you're not okay with any of that, that one thing of that whole list I just laid out should be disqualifying for any politician in America. You cannot vote for the white supremacist. You cannot vote for the racist. You cannot vote for the Russia-aligned guy. You cannot vote for the anti-democracy guy. You just can't do it. It's not, in my opinion, it disqualifies you as a true American. And there is no argument. There is no discussion. There is no debate. Because if you tell me, well, there's too many illegals here, there's too many drugs here, I will say, why are you a racist? I will say, why are you a white supremacist? I will say, where's your KKK hood? Because I know it's in there somewhere. Because you know that's who Trump is. And you know that you elected him. And I will say, where's your red badge of courage? Where's your Order of Lenin citation from the Soviet Union? Because you are firmly in the back pocket of Vladimir Putin. That's what I'll say to you if you try to discuss any reason why you voted for Trump. I'll forgive you the first time around. Hell, I voted for him the first time around. I thought Hillary Clinton was a bigger threat. I did not vote for him in 2020. I did not vote for him, obviously, in 2024. That's when I started this channel. It's so infuriating to try to have a conversation with people trying to bend over backwards as to why it was okay for them to vote for Donald Trump this past November and why they still support him now. Their support is only getting stronger. The more racism, the more pro-Putin, the more anti-European democracy and pro-far-right movements that he embraces as we've gone through 2025, the more these people are, he's solidifying these people. And it's not just a fringe base anymore, like I don't know if it ever was, but certainly many of us thought that was the case. It's a lot of Americans. It's really disturbing. Maybe I need to get out more, but I just find it hard to discuss anything with anyone other than other than sports, travel, the weather. I can't. There is no common ground with these people. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I will continue hammering on the foreign policy aspect of all of this. I'll do another video on the Pete Hegseth murderer topic. I had a video out on way back, almost 6 weeks ago, on October 31st, where I discussed, I'll link to it because it didn't get a lot of views, but a lot of stuff I brought up in that video is what's been brought to light and really taken center stage here over the last week or two. I threw out a hypothetical about what if there's a survivor just clinging to a boat? Are you just blowing him up? That's the hypothetical I put out there, and I said we'll never know because if that happened, that is definitely a war crime. So there is. This is what I said. I said there is video of that, but we'll never see it because that's a war crime. That is anti-Geneva Convention. That's Nuremberg trials. That's you cannot have that situation because if we don't play by the rules, then we can never expect any other enemy combatants to play by the rules. And a lot of times they don't, but if we just throw all, that's why, anyway, that's a whole nother video. And I'm surprised at how much actually has come out and how much the admiral did admit to. The second admiral, remember the first admiral resigned because he would not go along with what Pete Hegseth wanted to do. This next admiral did not resign, and he's being thrown under the bus by Hegseth, by Trump, as predicted. So I'll link to that video here at the end of this one. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe, please give it a like, please share it, please comment. All of that stuff helps, and I appreciate it, and you all have a good week. See ya.